So we knew before COVID that people were struggling, not just struggling economically, but struggling, with health and mental health challenges. We knew that. What I'm most hopeful for is that as we come on the other side of this, we don't look at this as just, okay, if we just, address some mental health concerns for the moment, everything is going to be all right. No, we live in a city where people have anxiety, have stress, have greater mental health challenges because it's a stressful place to live. And when you're struggling to make ends meet, it's all the more stressful. And so my fervent hope, and I'm just using mental health as an example, but my fervent hope is that we use COVID as a wake-up call and that our recovery activities not just center on getting us back to where we were before COVID, but leaning in and looking at the structural problems that have created the inequities that were just, just presented for all the world to see during COVID.
Well, I think great educators try to ensure that students can use their own inherent brilliance and their own things that they love and that make them happy to try to be able to navigate their own journey and their careers and then their lives into the future. It's great to focus on things like STEM and areas that we see potentially as great future careers, but the reality is it's a fast-changing world. And by the time our students are adults, we really don't know exactly what careers or what changes there will be. We learned that acutely, of course, in the pandemic, as both the health and the work systems around us changed rapidly. Yet another reminder that our students just have to be prepared to be learners, to be kind, to build great relationships, and to be able to pivot really quickly and really adjust really flexibly. So I think inherently that has to be the goal of a school system, to support that type of thinking, that type of growth, that type of learning.
I began my journalism career as an opinion writer and columnist for a high school newspaper. And I think the lessons that I learned from that was that everyone wants to see themselves in the story. When I started writing, I signed up to write for my newspaper because my high school paper didn't really write about kids like me, which were the Black kids who were being bused out of our neighborhoods into another neighborhood to go to high school as part of a desegregation program. And that when I started writing those stories about our experience, my Black classmates started reading the paper because they saw their experience reflected. So I've always carried that with me, that we need all types of different storytellers if we really want to tell the story of our entire country.
We in New York City can do anything, whether it means building an effective school system that actually delivers an opportunity for our children, to building a world-class childcare system so that New York City really becomes the best place in the world to raise children, to having affordable housing so that all New Yorkers have a place to live, where they can afford to live with dignity and raise their children and families in safety and comfort and security. All these things are possible, especially possible in this city, the most capable city in the world with all the resources here. What we need to drive those things forward are leadership, but of leaders who can imagine what's possible and believe in what's possible and set us on the course to achieving what's possible. But when you have that leadership, all the pieces can come together. And so that's what I've learned about New York, is that nothing's impossible. There's nothing that we can't do. The question is always, do we have the will, do we have the energy, and do we have the focus to do it?
The High Line is a place of possibility, and that's also the story of New York. New York is a place where dreams can come true. 30 years ago, nobody in New York believed that a gay couple like myself and my husband would have the right to the 1,123 rights and responsibilities that come with the New York State marriage license. But we believed it could be possible, and we made it happen. And similarly, when Josh David and Robert Hammond saw Rudy Giuliani trying to tear down an elevated train tracks, they believed that it could be a gathering place for New Yorkers and visitors from around the world. And that's exactly what they had. So I think the High Line is a metaphor for what is possible in this city. And at a time when we're looking for hope, I find that hope right here up on these train tracks.
I would not be here if it were not for generations of barrier-breaking people before me. I stand on their shoulders. I benefit from their sacrifices. I have learned from their excellence. Each generation helps pave the way for the next. And each generation has more opportunities than the one before it. Now that's progress. That's what my career has always been about, trying to make progress. For so long, people like me, Black, queer, woman, immigrant, didn't hold positions of power. We do now. And with that comes great responsibility. Responsibility to ensure that opportunities that we have are expanded for the next generation. Representation matters. Showing up matters.